Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Right.
I love that song.
That's great.
That's the perfect song for Redneck Island.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They're all secretly gay on Redneck Island. That's the last episode that we just gave away.
It's their own village.
Yes.
Oh boy, that's right. And it does take a village,
Yes.
right, to put together a
Is that a saying?
like what we just saw. Yeah,
It takes a village.
Takes a village.
Takes a village. It's a book.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah, not
I
on
don't
Redneck
read.
Island though.
Oh, yeah.
Written by Hillary Clinton.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so my name is Little Egypt, and I'm your host today for Redneck Island. We are going to be talking about episode number 3.
Sure.
Lucky number 3.
Lucky number 3. The title's called The Plot Thickens. For those of you joining us for the first time, maybe
Right. Lucky you.
Yeah,
First
that's
of
right.
all.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're looking at the actual hosts that will be with you for the rest of your journey. And
Here we
starting
are.
with my left, I just want to introduce Faye, who we went to high school together. I don't know if
She's
you
cute.
guys. Yeah.
Isn't that sweet?
That is
And
cute.
Yeah.
we're reunited and it feels so good.
Wow.
So tell us a little about you, Faye, and then we're going to work around and introduce Brittany, our new girl.
Sure. I have a background in entertainment, primarily musicals. We were just laughing that one out.
Mm-hmm.
But some big commercial shows that have taken me around the country, around the world. I'm really grateful to be back in Los Angeles, where it's generally warm, except for today. And I love this opportunity to not only do a podcast, but stick around with friends and meet new friends.
Yay, cool.
Nice. Cute.
And you?
My name's David. Let's see. We'll talk about some new things. Last
Yeah.
week, we don't need to cover the same things twice. As a child, really loved Ninja Turtles. They're a big part of my life. I take the 1:30 a.m. flight tonight home to Detroit. So I didn't even know there was 1:30 a.m. flights, but that's the one I'll be taking. And let's see. The last thing I hosted before this, I did a commercial for a flea and tick medication where I went around Los Angeles and talked to people about funny ways to put flea and tick medication under their dogs.
That's so awesome.
So
Only
that's
you,
my life.
David. Only you.
Listen, well, I hope so. It will give me more gigs.
Yeah,
So,
well, we're happy
yes.
to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And now joining us for the first time, we have Brittany Baldi, who has...
Baldi.
Baldi.
Yes.
Baldi.
But do you go
Please.
by... Baldi is short for
Yeah.
For
Baldi-
balding.
For Baldessari.
But for Baldessari. So sorry. Brittany's joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your history in Los Angeles.
Sure. Well, my name is Brittany. I actually just moved here from the Boston area, which is pretty awesome. Looking to do some more entertainment type stuff. I have a background with entertainment. I was on season 1 of Are You the One, and which also airs on MTV. I'm on the new season of MTV's The Challenge, which actually comes out January 6th, so make sure you guys check that out.
Nice.
Really excited for that.
Yep.
And back at home, I actually did a lot of hosting on a TV show called Wicked Bites for Nessun, and I got
Wicked.
to interview, the Red Sox, the Bruins, and now I'm here with AFTERBUZZ, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens here.
Nice.
Yay. So when did you get introduced to Redneck Island? Was this something that just surfaced for you?
Yeah, I actually just started watching it this year, which is
Okay.
kind of interesting. So
Yeah.
the new season, I'm a big fan of Jessie Decker. I actually was a brunette like you, love the dark hair, but I started dyeing my hair blonde because of Jessie. She has that ombre thing going on.
yeah.
So when I found out she was on this season, I was like, I totally have to check it out. And with watching it, the format is so similar to the challenge that I just instantly fell in love with it.
Perfect. Great.
Cool. And you do a great job matching your lipstick to your shirt, which is important.
I had to
and
match
good
it.
Job.
As
Yes.
do you, Dave. As
Yes,
do
thank you. Yes,
No
it's a
worries.
clear shirt as it is clear
Clear
lipstick.
lipstick,
Yes.
Pretty in pink today.
Yes.
Okay, well, last week, I'm just going to recap quickly for you. Last week, Corey took out Riley, Margaret took out Jamie in the pit challenge. Did you guys get a chance, Jamie? I mean, you saw it, right, Brittany? Mm-hmm. And so that was really cool. I mean, Margaret like totally fell apart. Do you remember she was, and that's how they entered, and this is how we open episode 3 with basically Margaret full-on breakdown. Did you think it was over the top?
Oh, she's just filled with drama.
She is totally full of
She
drama.
is drama, drama, drama. I don't know if she knows how to live any other way.
It's out of all
She loves it.
seasons, out of all seasons of Redneck Island, she was definitely the most dramatic, and the crying just went on and on and on. What were you thinking as a guy?
Well, you know, I had kind of missed the first episode, only saw it a little bit. So really, last episode was my first introduction to a lot of these characters, and Margaret didn't catch me as such a psychopath. But now, but she's just so crying, and then she's so like evil. Like I almost felt it was over the top, like pushed even in the crying, but even in like her way of deciding who she's gonna kick off, and her like inability to communicate with her partner. So it just seemed. I think overall for this episode, I felt this episode was just a little pushed in a lot of ways. Like it felt like the problems were being forced as opposed to just like happening before our eyes.
Do you guys genuinely think she cared for Riley or no? Because that seems to be the stem of the whole situation, is that she genuinely cares for Riley. And that's why she's bringing out this drama. What do you take?
I think
what is your take on
Margaret
that?
genuinely cares for herself.
You think? So you
Yeah.
don't even think she cared about Riley at all? She was just like,
you know what? It was of the moment. It was a love will keep us together kind of moment, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I can't remember who said it, but they were also surprised because it was only at that point we were talking about real time. It had to have been just a few days. For her
Right,
to
I
be
didn't
that.
realize. I was thinking they were on the island for weeks before this. Yes, days.
Yeah,
Come on.
they mentioned it. Yeah, so days. Yeah, so
it's
it
a
was
little
pretty...
short to be that crying. I mean, we've all had our night flings, but I don't think I cried. I cried once after one of them. That's for other reasons.
oh my God.
But I will say that it could be one of those deals where everyone seems to really like one another, and I'm sure in the editing that's when it becomes difficult, because you're like, these are really kind people, and so they're looking for someone or something that's not. So maybe I think you're onto something, David, that it's really was very pushed this week.
You need that drama to spark the interest for the viewers.
I don't know. I thought climbing a telephone pole and then walking a small beam like an Olympic gymnast was pretty good drama. I don't know if I needed people to be, there was
Like
enough
the guy
drama.
pees, or the other guy's wearing the thing on his peen.
The
It's just
plot thickens kind of
Right.
like that funnel.
Faye, I'm so glad you started talking about the challenge, because this week's challenge was called Shufflin' By, and it was a height challenge. It had to do a lot with balance. It didn't look that all like
intimidating
right. Till you actually saw the faces of the people when they were up there. And so, come on, what did you think of Heather? Like being able to break through those fears. She earned so many like points, really good points with me, because I thought, she could have just said, that's it, I'm out. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you had to face like your fear, like probably you in one of your challenges on some other show.
Yeah, I did a lot of crazy height type challenges. So I totally understand where she's coming from, and I give her credit for pushing through and doing it.
And
Takes a lot.
And in not very much time. I mean, 10 minutes, if we had to watch the whole 10 minutes, it might be a great deal of time. But if you really have this desperate fear, 10 minutes is not a lot of time to overcome it and get the job done. So that's impressive.
So I thought it was really cute to help her get through it.
The beers and puppies.
Puppies and beer. Puppies and beer, not bear, right? Puppies and beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that's so funny to me because, I raised a son. He's 22 years old. And when he was really frightened in the room, he would...
think of puppies and
and
beer.
beer, and you would feed him beer.
Yeah, and then I would come in with
then
a
he got
signal. Yeah, I
arrested.
just cracked the beer, set it on. He got to hear it bubble, and he felt really good. His was no monsters, no dinosaurs. That was his thing.
okay,
He'd yell out, no monsters, no dinosaurs. And when she was doing puppies and beer, I was like, wow.
Shout out to your son's childhood right there in an analogous
flashback.
way. Yes.
There was another
Cute.
great
A lot
quote
more
that
things
came
are
out of the challenge was, teamwork makes the dream work. I love that. That's my favorite T-shirt saying now. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
so
that
true.
was after, was that Heather? No, that was Tank D when they had finished. It didn't seem to do much for him by the end, but
Right. And I think a challenge like that also shows that talking kind of a behind the scenes thing that I think they're probably taking. Each challenge has to do with in somebody's fear within the group.
Right.
So that we kind of know each week is going to focus on. I'm sure they knew that she would have that reaction to that height challenge.
Yeah.
And even one of the guys was with the short shorts. The names elude me, but there was a couple guys that were scared up there as well.
Cody.
Was that Cody?
Cody had
Yes.
the Daisy Dukes on.
Right,
Sure,
yes,
sure.
the Daisy Dukes, yes.
Okay, that I had to watch over and over
You did.
and over because the breakdance, like what he was doing to balance sideways, and it
Breakdance,
just
that's
kept
such
going.
a nice way to put it.
Right.
He was strapped in that harness.
Right.
That harness
And
was
terrifying.
And he was
giving
going,
him a lot of
oh my
Oh, God.
That was
I actually fast-forwarded during that part.
Oh.
So it's different.
that was one of those like you don't see Steve Austin like lose it, and
Right.
but he just thought that was really hilarious,
Yeah.
and I was just couldn't. I could totally get it because it was freaking funny.
Yeah.
Rocky comes up with a great with a great quote. He says, I'm orgasming in air. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah,
I
when your
missed that
knees were
one.
shaking.
You missed that
Wow,
one?
I did.
It's like I'm orgasming in air.
Usually when I hear orgasm, I'm right there
right on
working it. Yes, and I often orgasm during that when I hear it, but this time I missed it.
No, you said you fast forward through
I
that.
did. I didn't know.
I wonder
why
if
you need to
any
have
of
subtitles.
I wonder if any of them went into this challenge with a strategy of any sort.
Well, do you have time to strategize with your co-mate? I mean, is there time like let's do it this way before we go up, or do you just go up?
Yeah, sometimes you do. When you do a specific challenge, the
Yeah.
producers will give you your task at hand that you're supposed to do, and the next step is okay. You have maybe 5 minutes to try to figure out what you want to do to strategize. So I wonder if any of them had a specific strategy. Maybe we can ask Heather next week if she comes on the show.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. What kind of strategy
Yeah,
could you
well-
have? I mean, I did see one where they were like running was the strategy.
And he fell off and got
I
disqualified.
don't know why you would
That was dumb.
run.
That was dumb. Yeah.
Running
That's
on
why-
a small beam.
That's why I'm wondering, do they have a strategy? Because why would he run knowing that you're going to fall and get disqualified? I don't know.
What about Parigi on the beam? Did you
I'm
guys
so
see?
glad you just said his name because I always want to say
Parigi.
pierogi. Like
Isn't it Parigi?
It is.
Parigi? Yeah, that's his last name. The heavy set.
Oh,
fella.
right.
And he didn't last but just a few steps. He was the
Right.
one that ran to the middle. He was trying that whole running
Oh,
thing
yes.
and then fell right off. But you got, oh my God, are you thinking if you're his partner right now at this point, you're just like, I
think you
don't
think a
know.
lot of things if you're his partner. They haven't focused on him a lot in either of the last two episodes.
Yeah.
But I am like off put by him, like when that guy came out with the funnel on his genitalia.
Yes.
Was that Tank?
Tank. And that guy, like, and this other guy, what's his name again? Pierogi?
Parigi?
Parigi. Like, he was like the only one that was like real excited about it. He was like, yeah, bro, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. High fives. I'm just thinking, why would anybody be that excited?
Well, he
like,
actually seemed to get down on his knees as well, and they edited that right away.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a real weird interaction there. And I just thought he's like trying real hard to be the bro, like supporter guy. And I don't know. I didn't like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, the challenge ended with Jeremy and Haley. They worked well together, but unfortunately they didn't come in first. Who came in first was Margaret and Corey. And they were able to pick, who was going to go up in the elimination round in the pit challenge with Shelby and Blake because they actually had the lowest score.
Yes.
So what did you think about when Shelby was on the beam? Like, I think she's got a great sense of herself. She understands the social game. She has great relationships with the other girls. But in challenge situations, when she's saying, shut the F up, I mean, that's not going to get you any points.
Right.
I just don't get, like, when is she going to realize that maybe that's not boding well for her?
Right.
It doesn't seem to hurt her. That's the thing.
No.
Yeah.
And she was one of the better looking girls on the show. So
Yeah.
I always was a big fan of her. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess, well, didn't we talk about last week that attitude has a lot to do with whether you're going to win or lose? So that
Definitely.
seems to be holding true.
I like her competitive mindset. I think she's very competitive, and whatever comes at her, she just goes for it. I've noticed that in the past couple episodes for sure.
Yeah.
I was surprised that. Are we to the pit yet? Cause
No.
Okay.
Well, there
No.
was a little social strategy going on right after the challenge because, oh boy, like Corey, Margaret's partner, was just like, could you like keep it down a little bit?
Right.
Let's do like a calculated teamwork. But she's like, I'm gunning for this
Yeah.
person. I don't care what you think. And of course, she's not making any points. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I again thought a little over the top. Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, that's so opposite from the last episode when she's
Yeah.
like, caring about her partner,
Yeah.
and you know, she seemed like a very sweet person. You kind of felt for her by the end of the show, and then like complete crazy person 180.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't know why really, and it seemed like she was just kind of. Almost the producers were like, well, really go with your feelings that you're angry with everybody. Because it was such a 180 that it seemed out of character almost. Did you think
agree.
the same thing? Yeah.
I kind of thought the same thing, and I thought it was kind of wild that she ended up not putting in, was it Nicole and Cody, into the elimination round. And she straight up just said, okay, I'm throwing in Haley and Jeremy just to stir the pot. She had no legitimate reason.
Like, do you really think she blindsided Corey there? Do you think Corey knew? Because, like, he acted blindsided.
No,
like,
I
whoa.
think she blindsided him. I think she's a one-man team.
Wow.
There is no I in team for her.
Lisa is all about this. She's all about herself.
Yes. There is an I in team for her. You mean? Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow. Sure. So okay, so Corey's got to try and get Margaret to make a calculated decision, right? Margaret's like, she can't be coached, she can't be talked to. Corey, I think, is doing a fantastic job at separating himself from Margaret within the social environment of the community, don't you think? Like, because I don't think anyone blames Corey as like they don't see Margaret and Corey as a team. They see Margaret is a ticking time bomb, and Corey's stuck with her right now, right?
So
is
far,
that fair to say?
So far, but there was something odd about him going to all the ladies and saying, it wasn't my decision. I didn't even know. And that's kind of one of those deals where you're like, is he keeping his enemies a little bit close?
See, that's a good point.
I think he's trying to play a good political game. He's working on his political game right now.
Yeah.
Can someone also tell Corey to put on a shirt every once in a while? The man is not wearing a shirt in any of the scenes besides this interview. It's like, we get it.
His arms?
We get it. You work out. Next, like, here we go.
They don't fit in a shirt.
You can buy extra large shirts.
That's what
It's
Jamie
just
was saying
every
last week. He's
second.
all muscle.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's so funny. Because you're like, I'm thinking what's more shocking is like when Cowboy takes off his clothes
Right.
nipple
and
ring,
like his
right?
nipple. Yeah.
Right.
And he runs around in like lingerie. That's a little bit
Wait,
more.
what?
like-
When did that happen?
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one that part
That's
either.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Riley's gone. He was
Right.
like the good-looking one, you know, up to this point, and now Josh is the good-looking one, and all the.
Hot Josh.
What did you think about that? Like, do you think all
Again,
the girls are really
The
that
girls
into
are very
him?
into muscular. Like, what about the skinny guy? Like, they're very like all the attention is on the hugest guys in
Yep.
the whole thing. Like, this
noticed
is
that.
this is a cast that really loves muscular guys.
I just
Lean,
think-
tall, and fit seems to get no love on this show, which I will never be on.
You know, there's a lot of cast members. I think that's part of it, is we can't keep them all straight because we never get to see all of them in the same episode. So Josh, all of a sudden I was like, which one is Josh?
Right.
Oh, hot Josh.
Is he hot? Do you guys think he's a good-looking guy?
I didn't even personally think Riley was that good looking.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. I
Yeah.
don't know with these chicks. Maybe they're just locked in a house and
They're
they
locked
need
in a
to.
house.
They all look like
I
lumberjack,
don't know.
like they all got off like them pitching mound or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what women are into these
I
days.
don't know, except for Jeremy. Jeremy's fit. But he has a lot of product in the hair. When does he have time to do
And then the
that?
hat,
Right.
like he wears this hat down.
But
which kinda-
he's one to watch out for. He's certainly one to watch out for.
Yes.
Yeah,
They all
he's
are.
definitely a threat for sure. What that's so they started focusing on Haley this time. I thought that was really cute because she was on her way out, and so they gave her some airtime, which was nice.
Maybe that's our
that's-
clue at the top of
Right.
the
They're
like,
episode.
oh, they're
Whoever
going
did
out.
that,
Yeah.
she's
She's the one who was doing yoga?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which was
yeah,
attractive.
yeah,
But also
yeah.
a little showboaty because no one else was doing it. It was obviously like, here's my ass, guys. Stop looking. That's like every girl at a bar. What? I'm wearing slutty outfits. Stop looking. Anyway, what? Don't touch me. Yes. You think I'm hot? Cool. Anyway, bye. That's what that was. That's what that was like.
That's so funny.
And scene.
And
Yeah.
All right, so you got Haley kind of flaunting herself a little bit. She definitely didn't. She didn't come across bad or good to me. She was,
Right.
I didn't really get a
Kinda
chance
neutral.
to. She was very neutral. Tank, I think he's probably got some serious sexual problems. Don't you think? If he's
Sexual
going,
problems?
yeah, like a disorder maybe, because he enjoys like attaching sexual objects to his penis, like a funnel, and running around and being okay with that. And so that to me says sexual disorder. What does it say
That's
to
what
you?
that says to you?
Yeah.
That's a little
Well,
interesting.
well, Dr. Egypt.
Right.
I have to say, the thing I did notice, it wasn't simply the funnel, because he had to do a little sewing. There was
there's a rope
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah.
elastic strapping going on.
Do you think he had anything underneath that, or?
Because it would rub against.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I don't
think
think
he's
that's
concerned
so
with that.
he doesn't
Right.
even care. He's so drunk that he
Yeah.
just doesn't care.
And I thought this was going through my head. I didn't see the strap, right? I just figured, how is that staying on? Did he use the funnel to suck out the air?
Okay.
So that it would
Oh my
stay?
god!
Wow.
Like a suction cup.
Yes.
Right.
Did you rerun this? What were you?
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
I'm like, how is that staying on?
Right.
But okay, it was a
Yes,
strap.
there was a strap.
He didn't use the funnel.
No.
Well, we can't say definitely, but
We don't know how
don't
far his penis
know.
went into the funnel. That is a question we won't know for a
It's
while.
like one of those.
Right. You're talking about a penis pump.
Oh.
Or what are you? Or keg? What are you talking about? You can't just go whoosh, 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 and everybody knows what you're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. It's a penis pump.
Oh, okay. You just didn't want to say the word.
I didn't want to say it, but now
Okay.
that you have it, it's out there. Yeah,
out there.
it's
And
kind of
they-
the redneck version of a penis pump.
Yeah, and he
Is that
didn't
what it does?
change. He didn't change before the pit challenge. He just went to the pit
No.
challenge in his funnel.
No. What did you think about that, Brittany? Were you turned on by that?
I was not turned on by it. I don't know what he was thinking. He just probably got really drunk and just said, "Hey, I want to just do my thing and have fun."
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
And then he can go home, rip it off, and chug some more beers with it.
Okay,
Right.
that funnel is out of
That's
commission.
out.
It's done. But what about Blake? I find that he's made this weird transformation. I mean, he's the one that came in with the ice blue eyes, freaky ice blue eyes, and hair done, and now
Like a vampire.
Yeah, and now he's kind of. Well, I don't know. He
Moses
just,
with the.
he's a little bit more simple.
Right.
As he admitted to in the pit challenge, he said, "I'm not really a thinker. This puzzle could be tough."
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't give much thought to Blake. What is it? What I guess what?
I was trying to think because he went from this
Right.
extreme
Right.
Into
to
way.
way under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, is there something else going to come out when they take him off his meds? What's going to happen?
Wow.
Is he a schizophrenic?
Right. Does he have a doctor's appointment? I'm not sure. You know, I don't have the answer to that question specifically, but feel free to pontificate more on it.
I will.
If you, yeah.
I will
Well,
when
let-
we get to the pit.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
chat about the pit. I
Okay.
think that's a great segue, Faye.
Okay, good job. They've been trying to get to it for a while.
Yeah, so the pit challenge this time was called Mental Block, and it was a mental challenge.
Right.
Boy, howdy. That's exactly what took Blake out of the game. Like that was, remember how we were talking last week about like mindset?
Yes.
Okay. So did you notice like Blake had no mindset? He was
Yes.
like, I've had 22 concussions.
And this-
But this is
and
going
I
to be my
can't-
third one.
So interesting.
Oh, I didn't even pick up
completely
on
not
that.
there.
Wow.
He's like, I've had 22
Yeah.
multiple concussions. This
Wow.
could be my third one. I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
Yeah,
testing 1,
yeah.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
Wow.
Yeah, so no, yeah, Jeremy was on fire during that.
Yes.
He just worked right through it. Were you pretty impressed with Jeremy as a competitor now at this point?
You know, I have to say I thought the challenge kind of bored me a little bit, to be honest. Like last week it was kind of exciting, brute or strength, who's gonna win, and this one, like the puzzle was very like esoteric. Like I didn't even know what I was looking at when I looked. So it's like you couldn't really follow along with whether they were doing it right or wrong.
A lot of
Yeah.
moose.
A lot of moose and redness. So yeah, and they did kind of allude to Blake was going to lose, and then it seemed like it seemed like he had he was so behind, but then Steve Austin kept being like, they're neck and neck, so I couldn't, are they neck and neck, or is he completely behind? I don't know where we are, and then I woke up and it was over, so
It felt
yeah.
like it was a redneck version of Let's Make a Deal. Everybody's screaming, move the block, move the
Right.
block. Oh, it has to go to the left. And you're down there going, curtain number 1. Wait, where does it go? I can't quite figure it out.
Yes, I have a duck in my purse.
Yes.
That was what they did on that show, right?
was
Think
kind of
people had
that
things in
way.
their purse, yeah.
Okay, so Blake's out. Oh, it was sad to see him go. Actually, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Blake. I thought he was.
I agree.
I kind of wanted to see him evolve into like the next Blake.
The next Blake.
I was waiting for Blake number 3 to show up, just
They
like you
used
say.
such quick goodbyes on the show.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah, no build up whatsoever.
Yeah,
It's
no
like,
last
hey,
night in the
you
house while they're
lost, see ya,
packing up.
bye.
Yeah,
I know, just
it's kind
out.
of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't even really really do an exit interview with them, which I find really odd.
Yeah.
Wow, that is odd. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
What do you think about Cowboy in the middle of the challenge just taking a leak off the ledge? What is this guy a genius? Does he? Is he's gonna win? He's gonna win it because at the end. We're supposed to kind of like pick who we think. Here's why I think Cowboy is going to win it, because I think there's no way humanly possible that he would really act like that. And when he does win it, we're going to see him in like a Navy SEAL uniform, and he's going to, and I think he's a Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I think he's got us all by the balls.
Right.
Yeah. What are your
He's
thoughts?
got himself by the balls just while he
Clearly,
leaks.
every
Yeah.
week, yeah.
And a
Depends how he
nipple.
holds it, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Cowboy and his performance?
In the peeing situation?
Peeing, what he's been doing.
I mean, I thought again, I found myself annoyed a lot during the show. I just thought peeing, like, it seems like it's an attention thing.
Yeah.
And, like, gross. And, like...
Illegal in most states.
Yes. And, like, who knows where people are stepping off to get off of that platform.
Yeah.
And he's puddling it up.
Yes.
And so I just thought, I don't know, this show seemed a lot of, like, people trying to be as crazy. Like, crazy is fun when it happens, like, accidentally or organically.
Sure.
But I felt there was a lot of crazy in this show that was like, I'm going to be crazy now. And I don't know, I found that annoying.
Yeah.
Brittany, what do you think about being crazy? Have you ever peed off of a wooden thing?
Never peed off a ledge before.
Okay,
I
good.
don't ever see myself doing it. But
Good.
the whole thing with Cowboy, I think you guys are saying he might just be doing it for attention or to let people know, hey, I'm not that competitive. But in the end, like you're mentioning,
Yeah.
maybe I might win this because everybody thinks I'm not competitive and not in shape, and I'm going to show you all up at the end.
Right.
Because you're not going to want to throw me into the elimination because I'm not that
Right.
much of a threat.
I'm staying
Right.
under the radar.
Staying in, yeah.
Staying
He's
under
playing
the
it smart.
radar.
He might be a genius. I'm just putting it out there.
You
It's a
think
good way to
he
look at
is.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
I picked him last week. That
Did
was
you?
my pick.
Oh, really?
To go all the way,
Oh my God, that's awesome.
One day I'm going to learn everyone's name, and then I'm going to be able to make an intelligent pick.
I know we still have a large cast,
Yes,
right? It's like
I try to write it down with notes next to it, and then they get confused. 20 minutes
Yeah.
later, I've forgotten everybody's
Yeah.
name. So
Yeah.
whatever Brittany thinks is who's going to win, I think I agree.
Well, Shelby won for sure. She
Sure.
won her challenge, and well, now
like her.
Jeremy has a complete upgrade, don't you think? Upgrading from Haley to Shelby, because
actually think
Shelby's a good fierce
She's a
competitor.
fierce competitor, but I
Yeah.
think that Jeremy and Haley had a nice connection. They alluded to that, and they were good teammates.
Yeah.
But I think now it's going beyond that. It's becoming that very, very competitive edge. Who wants to win? Who's going to win $100,000?
Right.
I'm rooting for Shelby. I like her a lot. She's so competitive.
This is the redhead?
The redhead girl.
Yeah. She's got a little attitude on her, doesn't she?
She
Yes,
does.
it's a redhead attitude. There's some minorities that, yeah.
What?
Redheads are in the minority.
Oh,
I used to
I
date
see.
one, and so they feel very underprivileged.
Really?
Yes.
They feel
Really?
discriminated
They
against?
do.
They come
You
into
wouldn't
it
know
with a
that,
chip on
but
their
they
shoulder.
do.
Sure.
They do. Because they feel like they, as a people, that they are looked down upon, and so they feel the need to fire back.
It's because of the South Park episode.
I think a lot of it has to do with that.
Right?
Yes.
It ruined it for them.
It did.
They were fine until South Park.
Yeah.
totally
And now
It's over.
it's almost genocide.
Almost.
In a everyone's still alive kind of way. Right. Right.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying.
No one's drinking the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid
No,
yet.
I'm just a Coke.
Oh my God. Let's talk about the hosts. Okay, so you're seeing your like role model Jessie.
I love Jessie Decker.
Yeah. Tell us about her, because you know what? I know Steve Austin, right? In the sense that he comes from the wrestling world. He's a worldwide figurehead. Jessie comes from the country music world.
Yep.
I don't really know much about her. I don't know about Dave or Faye, but can you fill us in
Sure.
on what's the significance of having Jessie on the show?
I think the significance of having Jessie on the show is she's, like you had mentioned, she's a country singer.
Right.
She's big into her country roots. Whenever, I don't know if you guys watched her TV show with Eric Decker, her husband, Game On. She had a show on E. All she did was talk about growing up in the South and making Southern food, and she's always rocking her little Daisy Dukes and the cute little plaid shirts. So I think they totally have her on there for that side of, hey, we need to have a cute Southern girl on here, and she also has a big following. So her viewers and her fans are going to watch the TV show.
But they
because
don't
of
let her
that.
talk much.
They don't, which I find really odd. I know, she's not really a big
Yeah.
part of the show.
I did make a note that I find her boring. She's a wonderful person, I'm sure. But yeah, they don't give her anything to say, and every time she's like, "Yes, and this, remember, you're going for $100,000," and like that's it. That's all she has to say. There's Steve. And I know a little bit about him, and even he is limited in what he can show off, but he still gives you know who he is by how he talks and how he acts.
There's a different charisma.
I don't know who she is. Like, I don't really know what she's about so far in the show, because she has one line. It seems like they did just put her in short shorts and like, well, the guys can look at her legs and the girls can be
she's
like,
definitely
women
the eye
in power.
candy.
Yeah.
She's the eye candy of the show.
Jamie was saying she's integral. And
Integral.
Jamie last week was talking about what was really lovely about Jesse James is she would come to the house and give them pep talks before either going on air or before the day's events were starting to happen. And so there's probably a part and a component of the show that we don't get to see that she's very important part of that.
Yes.
They do cut a lot out. Like, reality TV, they cut so much out.
Right. Well, you know what?
Snip, snip.
The thing, the odd part for me is that this isn't season 1 of Redneck Island. This is season 4. Yeah. So season 1, 2, and 3 had one host, Steve Austin. It just feels weird. It feels like, why? He can sell the show on his own. People were tuning in. It was like one of the top rated shows on CMT. It's not like he needed help. So it just feels weird as a viewer. And I'd like to learn more about Jessie. Like, she's loved in the country music world, but I mean, is she significant as far as the show goes? I mean, you just said she's not bringing anything to the table.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking.
But it's early. It's early. It's only episode 3.
You think she's gonna have a big arc on the show?
I do. I feel her arc.
She's gonna take over.
She's a guest star arc for episode. Yes. Okay.
There's
Number 5, she's gonna have a blow up.
Yeah. With Steve.
Take a look next week and see if there's much interaction between Steve Austin and Jesse James. It doesn't even look like they even look at each other.
No.
You know?
I've noticed that too. They don't really interact with each other.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah,
that just seems weird.
It's one of those things where you wonder how any host has a personality on any show, but they do. Like, you feel like you watch other reality shows, you're like, oh, I get who this. Like American Idol, Ryan Seacrest. Like, he has 5 words to say a show, but you still like get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I get it with these guys. So come on, producers.
Yeah,
right?
and like American Idol, when it first came out, Ryan Seacrest had a little buddy who never made it, but he was there for like the first couple seasons,
season, but he quit on his own.
Oh, did he?
He said, I'm going to leave. I don't want to be Ryan Seacrest's sidekick. Worst decision that guy ever made. But it's like American Idol, where they add, well, you just said American Idol, but I mean the judges-wise. They went from 3 to 4. 4 has added nothing, right? But yet less time for each other one to speak.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I'm still not a fan of it, but she looks nice. And I'm sure she's a nice person.
Right. Well, we're not positive, but we assume. We try to look at the best side.
Yeah,
of people.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
I just love her from her other reality show, so that's how I know her.
Sure.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to pick your brain for a second, Brittany. Tell us a little bit about, you've been in challenges now, because you've been on 3 reality TV shows.
Yes.
What's your opinion on like what we're seeing as far as these challenges? Are they difficult or are they appearing difficult?
I think from a viewer's perspective, you guys think, hey, they're climbing a telephone pole. There's no way that's hard. But let me tell you, these challenges are very difficult. Not only do you have people grueling down your back, wanting you to fall off, wanting you to lose. You get up there, if you have a fear of heights, you need to conquer that. And it is really difficult. The puzzle one, like we were just talking about, you have all this pressure. You know that you have somebody right next to you and you need to just go. And your brain you get a block. Like it's called a mental block. You get a mental block and you don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Well, even last week in the pit with the ropes and they're pulling the ropes, I would have been good for about 5 seconds.
Oh, it's very strenuous.
Then I would be like, you pull.
Right.
You pull the rope and we'll see what ends up. But I don't think I would have been able to keep my balance. I wouldn't have been able to pull off the old Karate Kid here.
Yeah. I was disappointed that none of the games this week had sexual names. Every game last week had a sexual, like Jerk Off was the name of the rope thing. There was another one with a rifle that had a sexual name. This week they were very PG.
Shooting blanks.
Shooting blanks.
Yeah,
That's
shooting
the
blanks.
thing.
Everybody's like, ha, 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 ha.
You would remember that. That's like what sticks in your
That's why I
craw.
thought, oh, wow, they're calling something Jerk Off. This is that kind of
Sexual
show.
innuendo.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
But then they got
pulled
letters.
back. Yeah, then they got letters and decided we have to do inserts of changing the whole name of the game.
I
So,
will say my favorite quote of this episode, though, comes from Hunter. He was describing Margaret. She kind of looks like the end of a hot dog.
Right.
Oh, the scrunch face.
And
That was good.
did everyone just form a visual when they did that? It was like, what does an end of a hot dog look like? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
A little rough.
It's still rough.
It was a visual, though. It
Yeah.
was a certain visual.
Yeah, he
'cause
did
then,
great.
and then they cut to her looking like
hot
the end of a hot
Yeah.
dog.
I'm sure that's one of those quotes that they say off the cuff, and then they're like, "Oh, now we have to make sure to catch her in that moment, so we can."
I don't
insert
think
that
it was
in the
hard
show.
to catch her in that moment.
No,
this
that
week.
is how she lives.
She
She has
kind
a
of lives that
puckery
way.
face. Yeah.
Margaret was a Playboy model. I don't know if you guys talked about that yet. We were
What?
discussing it earlier.
What?
Yep.
Well, Margaret's got a whole bag of tricks.
Yeah, I did some research on Margaret.
Okay, tell us.
Apparently, she modeled for Playboy. I don't know if she currently does or what the situation is, but she definitely modeled for Playboy. She's been in Maxim, and she had a little. Hold on. Does anybody know who AJ? How do you say his last name?
I don't know.
Macaron. Mccarron.
Oh,
He was
the football
quarterback
player from Alabama.
Oh, very
I guess she
good.
had a
Get
little
on it, Dave.
thing with him.
Too depressed about my own team.
She had a little thing with him, and I guess it was really awkward because he was dating another TV personality. So that's kind of buzzing out in the air right now.
Right. So she's just socially awkward all the way around.
Socially awkward and likes to start drama and stir the pot
Drama.
with everybody.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
We call those people twists.
Twist. Right, nice.
Twist.
Yes.
We definitely have a twist on the show for sure,
For
right?
sure. I
How
wonder
about-
what her twist will be next week.
I don't know.
Right.
But you know who's changing, in my opinion, is Heather. Like, originally, she comes out and she's just like, oh, I think she's trouble, you know, because she immediately kind of started butting heads with Margaret because she was trying to get Riley. Yeah, and then she kind of backed off from that. And then she kind of found herself a little bit. This episode, she did a lot
She
of
found
drink-
herself drunk, and
I
then
was
she
gonna
found
say,
herself.
yeah. she did a lot of drinking in this episode, and it made me think, like, are you ever embarrassed of like what comes out on television? Like,
Right?
yeah, I mean, you tell us. I mean, you've been on reality shows.
Oh my God, you totally get embarrassed by some of the stuff that you say and you do because after a while you literally forget that cameras are rolling and you're just yourself. You're living in a house for a month or two, you forget that the camera's there, you just do your thing, and then when it comes to the editing and the actual show, you're like, oh my God, I did that. Wait, I just said that. Wait, we got into that fight. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's literally
But
how
Brittany,
we feel.
how do you not know? How do you not have an edit button when, even if it wasn't a camera and I'm in a discussion with someone, a stranger that I'm living with, and I'm about to tell them to whatever, wouldn't there be that moment where you go, oh, edit button?
I don't know because again, you forget the cameras are rolling. So if you're in a heated argument with somebody, you don't think, okay, this might end up on TV. You just go at it hard and that's just what happens.
Clearly,
You
that's why I'm
forget.
not on a reality
Right.
show.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can't
censor
censor
too much.
anything.
I've been on some reality show too, and one, I think producers pick people that are like that they can sense in their pre-interviews that these are people that don't censor themselves.
Yeah.
And two, when I go on them, I often think of like, this is who I want to present myself as, and then try to filter. So I'm not necessarily like filtering in a moment by moment basis, but I'm like, this is the type of like guy that I want to be in the show. So maybe these are like I'm sure they're encouraged to be their craziest self, and I think everybody's allowing themselves to go a certain distance, and some means almost showing penis, and others just mean a lot of beer. So I think they just want to be like the most entertaining person. Nobody wants to be forgotten if they're going to be on TV, I think is the thing.
And I can't, speaking of beer, I can't believe there's not actually a beer sponsor on this show. They'd
Right.
be making millions.
It's too redneck to get a sponsor, probably.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe Pabst. Mad Dog. Is Red Dog still a beer?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Play
But
beer
isn't
pong with
Budweiser
Ellen.
the beer choice for rednecks? Isn't
Is it? That might even be
I don't
passe
know.
at this time.
Really?
Yeah. Might
Oh,
have to be worse than Budweiser. Keystone, perhaps?
Mickey's Big Mouth.
No one knows what that is. Mickey's Big Mouth?
That
Mickey's
was
Big Mouth.
That's a real
Sounds
beer?
like a sexual thing.
Well,
yeah.
it is what you need to
Right.
That's what you need it to be.
Right. Depends how the night's going.
Well,
yeah.
after the episode, I was watching it online, and they had like a preview of the next episode, and there's a water challenge next week.
I didn't get to see that.
I didn't
Oh,
see
you
it either.
guys,
it
that
didn't
looks.
show up online.
I guess when you click on cmt.com
Oh,
and you
right,
watch
yes.
it online, and
Yes.
then it'll say previews. And
Oh,
so I
that's
was
it.
kind of watching the water challenge for next week, and oh my goodness.
What do they have to do?
Yeah, what do they
It's
do?
like a slide. They take like this
Someone
tube
gets taken
down a
off in
slide.
a ambulance.
Someone looks
my
hurt.
God.
Someone
Yeah.
looks hurt, and then that's like where they're
Sounds great.
propelled through the air, and then you're hitting hard on the water, and
Right.
so it looks amazing. Like for a viewer, I want to see more of
Yeah.
that. You just can
Way
shoot.
better than putting a puzzle together.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. Now that's entertainment.
Yeah.
Right?
They come back strong.
Yes.
And I want to know what's in the
Yes.
water. Are there snakes and alligators and critters
Yeah, it's a
in the
lake.
water?
And it better be named something sexual, like "Get Me Wet" or something.
Get me wet.
Let's get back to this game.
Right, we want Redneck
Yes,
Island
please.
season 4.
Yes,
That's
jerk
what
me
we-
off, get
yeah,
me wet.
Right. That's what we signed on for. Damn it.
God, come on. Not watching this show for my health. I'm in it for the sexual innuendos and the challenges.
And the hot chicks, of course.
Oh my
And that
gosh.
one or two hot chicks, so they all seem to be getting voted off. Yes.
All right, so what do you think? Give me your predictions for next week.
I'm going to go with Brittany's prediction.
Brittany?
Yeah.
Shelby. I think Shelby's going to keep, can I swear? Or just
Yeah.
say kicking booty. I'm going to say she's going to keep kicking butt. She's in it to win it, very competitive, is going hard. Political game is pretty on point, even though she gets into fights sometimes.
Right.
That could work for and against her, but she's just going hard and wants it. As far as the dudes, I can't really tell yet what guy's going to do well.
Yeah. Is it Corey or Cody is
Well,
the no-shirt guy?
Corey's
Corey.
the no
Corey.
shirt
Yes.
guy with the muscle.
Cody's the one that dips. He's constantly chewing.
Oh, that's gross.
I
Tried that
see
one
him
time,
cup.
threw up all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah. He seems to be getting a lot of time on the show, so I feel like he might be sticking around for a while. He seems to have a good mindset about everything, so I would say. But again, I think there's still certain characters that I haven't seen more than say 4 words, so I
Yeah.
gotta think they're going to be brought up in the next
Yeah.
couple episodes.
Yeah, you betcha.
I'm still a big fan of Cowboy, but
Cowboy.
I'm still, but I'm also looking at Jeremy as the underdog. I'm looking at some of their backgrounds. He has maybe a good 10 years of seasoning on him, but he's in phenomenal shape. He's super bright. He stays a little under the radar, although he started to pop up and thought he was going to be playing a great social game by going to Margaret and saying, I'm sure that you're really looking at this other team to vote off. And I think that's what kind of turned the tides really this week is he may not be good at social games. I think he's too honest, but I still think he's in it to win it. So
See, okay, so I get it with Jeremy. He's super talented and he's great at the challenges. He'd probably be a great asset to your team if you were going to be in this game. But I just not feeling much. There's no likability factor there. It's just kind of like you said, very neutral.
Right.
And I'd like to see him turn it on.
Yeah.
Turn something on. Help me
Yes.
as a viewer start engaging with you. So
Yes.
but Jeremy's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I think, like you said, I think Shelby is definitely one of the leads. And I don't know. Do you think Margaret's going to be around next week?
I wonder.
I mean, she made such a fuss. She's definitely got a target on her back.
Yeah.
He definitely has a huge
Yeah.
target. Like
Yeah,
taken
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But it
Or
doesn't
she could
matter
be one of
if
those
she
people
keeps
that
winning.
wins. Yeah.
She
Who
keeps
knows?
winning.
And I'm glad to see them go away from the physical challenges because I was like, well, if it keeps going this way, only the most athletic people are going to win this game.
Right.
So obviously they have it built in. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I love that. God knows what they have as far as what they can pull from the shelf
Yeah.
as far as
Do you think
challenges.
they choose it once they know the two people? Because if you got like
Yeah.
a muscular guy and a skinny guy, they can't do rope
Right, yeah.
jerky. They can't jerk each other off. So it has to be something else.
Possibly.
You know what I mean?
I just wonder what that opening survey looked like when you're coming into the show. What does it say?
Right.
Are you good at climbing walls? Yes. Okay,
Right.
we're not going to climb any walls. Are you good at putting puzzles together? That's
Right.
it. We're going to do a
Yeah.
puzzle game. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious what the opening survey had for our competitors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
fun to get our hands on that.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever will. But it'd be
You
fun.
never know.
Yeah. Oh, you're working on
I've
something?
got ways.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
You have to
That's
go.
right. Merry Christmas. for
Quick little
everyone.
insight, I'll be quick. You have to go through, I don't know for this TV show, but I know for our MTV shows, you have to go through an extensive physical in order to do shows like this because you're doing such crazy physical activity. So I don't know if that helps answer your
You
questions a little
think?
bit.
Really?
I'm-
So you think
I had to.
Parigi went
Parigi
there?
went through a physical?
I don't know. Interesting. But for
Yeah.
our shows, we literally had to get lungs tested, heart rate, EKG monitor to make sure that we were physically fit.
And there's paramedics on site and all sorts of things that we're not seeing that
Yes,
are right there.
definitely. They're right there for you.
And there's someone that must do a lot of eyelash work too, because
Very nice.
Some of the girls,
they come out of their challenges, and then the next thing you know, like
it's like bam.
Blue steel.
Heather
Yeah.
had like massive amounts of eyelash work. I couldn't tell the difference between Heather or Nicole at one point. So
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
Okay, so let's go around the table really quick as we bring this to a close.
already
Brittany,
over?
tell us. I know, right? That was a really fast. really fast show.
We made it work. When,
Yeah.
when we have 4 people,
Yeah.
it goes by quick.
So what are you saying? Last week
When
it
there's
wasn't?
3 people, I was like dragging sand through. It was great.
Seriously?
I know.
Can you believe you said that to us?
What's his name?
Right. Henry.
Okay,
Yeah.
Brittany, tell us a little bit about where people can find you on social media.
You guys can check me out Twitter at Brittany_Baldi. I also have Instagram, just Brittany Baldi, and Facebook, Brittany Baldi.
Okay, what about you, Dave?
You can find me at Go Blue Dave. That is Go Blue Dave. You can find me on Instagram at Dave Abed, spelled like Abed. Dave Abed. Abed. And Facebook, I don't have a fan page, so if we become great friends, maybe we can friend each other. But, just follow me on Instagram for now. Because my followers just went down after they cleaned off all the bad Instagram accounts.
Oh
my
my
follower
God.
dropped. So I'm a little insecure right now.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. It hurt.
idea. What about you?
You can find me at Redneck FD on Twitter, and that's where I'm keeping it right now.
Okay, and I'm Little Egypt. You can find me on Twitter at Little Egypt, super easy. Instagram at Little Egypt, Facebook, the official page of Little Egypt. And you can always, it's never too late to go on to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy your Little Egypt t-shirt, which,
Yes.
why wasn't Steve wearing one of my t-shirts?
Right.
What
I'm
was up
wearing
with
one right
Harley
now.
Race?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a t-shirt on, and it had an 8-time world champion. Harley Race was on his t-shirt. If
Are you
guys-
8-time world champion?
No,
Oh.
but he still should have wore a
But they
shirt.
should have, right.
It would have been way
Maybe
cool.
he'll go down to how many world
Yeah.
champions you have. Once it gets to 0, he'll wear your shirt.
Dave.
Boom! Boom! I just got burned. And thank you guys all for tuning in, and we will see you next week for another episode of Redneck Island AfterBuzz.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
And Merry Christmas.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.